Our next speaker, Wendy Thomas, has been in the fight to protect her town's water, air, and land from industrial pollution since 2016. In 2018, she, along with two other water warriors, Kathy Stack and Nancy Murphy, were elected state rep by the town of Merrimack. She works as the executive director of the New Hampshire Challenge, which advocates for the disabled community in New Hampshire, and she also works in energy efficiency in New Hampshire, counseling businesses on energy-saving techniques and resources. Wendy, who is currently running for state rep in Merrimack, has lived in Merrimack for 32 years. She has 6 children with her husband, Mark Nozell. Please welcome Wendy Thomas.
Hi, everyone. Everyone's back. Hi. So, I'm Wendy Thomas. I'm a mother of 6 kids, 6 brilliant, lovely, wonderful children who are actually young adults now. They wouldn't want me to call them children. I've been a resident of Merrimack for over 30 years. As it was stated, I'm the executive director of a nonprofit that advocates for the disabled community, a former state rep, and I am a water warrior. Thank you. And I am here with a cautionary tale. In 2016, I joined the Merrimack Citizens for Clean Water because there was some discussion about something called PFAS chemicals in our water from an industrial company up the street called St. Gobain. Now I live 3 miles, not 200 feet, 3 miles from St. Gobain, and I have a private well. The state told me I had nothing to worry about because my house was so far away from St. Gobain. We got our well tested in 2016. The numbers were so high that we had to immediately stop using our well water. We put in a full house filtration system with a reverse osmosis system, which cost us about $5,000. We could afford it. Many families in my town cannot afford that. And since 2016, my family, remember I've got 6 kids, at the time they were all living at home, we have survived on bottled water, because if you cannot use a private well that your house is connected to, you do not have water. In 2021, we got our private well retested again, and the results were higher than they were 6 years ago. In 2022, I was diagnosed, just a couple months ago, I was diagnosed with invasive breast cancer. It's not the worst kind, but it's a bad one. I got my blood tested for PFAS chemicals. Remember, the state told me I had nothing to worry about, 3 miles from the contamination. I have 12 PFAS chemicals in my body that are above the toxic level allowed for humans. My PFAS total chemicals in my body are 38 times the maximum value that is allowed for humans. My PFOA total number, I have more than 99% of it in my blood than the average American. And this is after 6 years. This is me being a water warrior. This is me knowing how to protect myself, putting in a whole house filtration system. If it got me, it's going to get you. PFAS chemicals are linked to many cancers, including breast cancer. They are known to be hormone disruptors. My cancer is hormone dependent. We're trying to figure out what that means. What I do know is that the price Merrimack pays to live in a town that is industrial polluted is to sacrifice parts of our bodies to the altars of corporate greed. The bottom line, often with environmental contaminants, you can't see, smell, or taste them. And by the time you figure out it's poisoning you, it's too late. I am a water warrior. I know about PFAS, and yet I couldn't protect myself or my family. So act now. Use common sense. Stop corporations from poisoning our water, soil, and our bodies. Our elected officials must vote to override the veto on 1454 like their lives depend on it, because God knows ours do. Thank you all for being here and be in good health.
Thank you for that incredible story, Wendy. We wish you the best in your race for being reelected to the House of Representatives, and we also wish you a very speedy recovery with what you're dealing with.